G'day folks, my name's Roy here. Today's video will be part 1 of 3 videos on how to lower your cost of raising chickens. Whether you're starting out or you're thinking about getting some chooks, these are the ways I lower my costs, actually make money from my chickens. So if you follow me, I'll teach you what to do to lower your costs. Okay, so tip 1 will be to soak grains. This helps extend your grain portions, and also it helps the chickens break down the nutrients in the grains a lot better. They're already fermented and they can get a lot more nutrients out of the grain. So this is what the grain looks like before you soak it. So you can see the size of the grains there compared to one that's been soaked for only 24 hours in just cold tap water. So as you can see, they obviously get a lot more sizing than the dry ones. Okay, so to soak your grains, what you'll do is, I normally do 2 scoops. I've got an old yogurt container here, and I normally do 2 scoops of grains into my soaking bucket, which will give you about that much grains in the bottom. And then you just top that up with a bit of water. My little helper here. So you want to film it up to about 1 inch over where your grain goes. Thank you, William, that's all. And then all you want to do is put a lid on it and sit it away for 24 hours. The second tip is collecting kitchen scraps. So anything you have from preparing your meals or leftover eggshells, scrambled egg, whatever, you just keep it in a bucket inside the kitchen, and probably every day or two you empty it out into the chicken coop. You tip it straight onto the ground. They'll pick through what they need to grab out of it, and the rest will break down and create a nice mulch for you underneath later on if you're doing a deep bedding system like I am. Another way to save money would be to shop around for your grain. I always use either a whole grain mix, or I use a lay and mash. I aim for around about a 24 to 26% protein in the mash or in the grain. I also add protein by adding leftover roast meats from work, or we have some leftover meat in the kitchen. They are meat eaters, so they do enjoy meat. Every other day I give them a bit of meat, so that really helps with the egg production as well. Also lower your cost on grain, as they'll fill up on the meat before they eat your grain. They'll search for the grain of what they need to fix in their diet. I do choose not to feed the chickens any chicken products. I do feed them cooked egg or eggshells, as that helps with the calcium and also gives them a bit more protein in their diet. Also, another way to supplement their diet, and actually doesn't cost you anything, is getting weeds from your garden or your lawn, whatever you don't want. This is a little example of what we have in the backyard. These products are really useful for added greens in their diet. Normally I just grab a couple of handfuls, or if we're doing the lawn, then I pick it all off and chuck it into the coop, and they'll pick through all the stuff that they eat. All the stuff that they don't will break down into your mulch again. Another tip would be to feed them skinks from the garden, little lizards or little frogs that are non-poisonous, or even mice and rats. If you have them in your traps, they will devour them. I have heard of people feeding roadkill as an alternative. Just make sure it's really fresh. They'll pick through it, eat what they can. If there's maggots inside, they'll feast on the maggots as well. Also, just make sure you've always got the shell grit there, and some other supplements to keep their diet up, because there's no point trying to save money and making your chickens sick. You're just going to have to keep replacing your chickens or breeding them out to replace your flock. Another way to save money would be to sell the eggs as a byproduct to pay for your grain and your supplements. The main problem with that is a lot of people think that they don't lay eggs during winter. Well, that's been the case previous years I've done chickens, but this year I've changed their diet a bit, and I've added some more whole grains and higher protein, and I seem to have not lost any egg production so far this year. We're in the middle of winter and I'm still getting good eight eggs a day out of the 8 egg layers that I have got. 4 that aren't laying at the moment, so they're not producing obviously, but I'm still getting 100% eggs every day, and I do sell them to pay for the grain. So if you've got a whole rich diet for them with protein and a lot of greens, that will help the egg production. Of course, plenty of sunlight, because they need the sunlight to produce the eggs. So that wraps up a few of the ways I save money on my chicken feed and raising my chickens. Tune in a couple more weeks. We'll have a part 2 to this little series where I'll show you how to pretty much have no cost for your chicken bedding, and how it can also benefit your garden.